Hi there, welcome back. I'm Carrie Jacobs, and today I'm looking at painting by numbers. For those of you who don't know, painting by numbers, little craft kits, mostly designed for children to have a go at painting, basically. So what you have is a little grid with numbered areas on it, and you take each of the corresponding paints, which has a corresponding number, put them in the right areas, and you end up with a lovely pretty picture at the end of it, in theory. And what you normally get on these painting by numbers is a lovely painting on the front of it, and this is what the end product will look like. But anyone who's done one of these kits knows that that's not what it's going to look like at all. So plan is, I've got two of these identical. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one following the instructions as to the letter, see how that looks, and then I'll do the second one in my own way, as though I was just trying to paint. You're basically just using the reference image and using the card as a guide, but not really paying attention to instructions. And we'll see which one's better. It's been many years since I did one of these, so let's read through the instructions and get started. Okay then, so what do we have here? Instructions. We need supplies needed: clean bowl of water, that's water, paper towel, brush, plastic or glass plate, use as a palette to mix colours, of course. I've got a palette here, right. Make sure I use that. Alright, so this is what we've got to work with. This is just a guide for reference. This is the actual board I'll be painting onto. You can see the numbers on there. Yeah. And each of those numbers is relative to one of those. Okay, let's have a look at the brush we've got to work with here, supplied with the kit. That's not brilliant. Focus, please. Focus. Focus. Yeah, that's actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's still not great. But hey ho. Okay, I think I'm ready to make a start. Alright, let's have another look at these instructions. So it says, getting started, make sure the paint lids are tightly closed, then gently shake them. Gently. Always rinse the dry paintbrush in a bowl of water, then blot it on a paper towel when first starting. Blot, 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 blot. Okay, that makes sense. Dip the tip of the brush into the paint colour and brush it into the areas marked with that colour's number. Rinse the brush clean when switching colours and blot it on a paper towel. Never allow the paint to dry on the brush. Right, okay, so the first area I'm going to start in here is number 6. So we're going to open. Oh no, I didn't give it a gentle shake. Don't forget the shake. See how this goes on. As a start, that isn't actually too bad. So the main problem I thought I was going to have was that the paint would be watery and running, just really transparent, and you wouldn't be able to get very much coverage with it. I mean, it's not the best paint in the world, but it's it's working well enough. It's being applied to the board quite nice and smoothly. This brush isn't helping. I mean, if I was using a proper brush, it would be a bit easier, but yeah, certainly not too bad. Okay, so the next bit I'm going to be doing says I need a mixture of 10 and number 10 and number 6. Some areas are marked with 2 colour numbers and need to be mixed together to create different colour shades. If the area is marked 1, 5, this means to mix together equal parts of number. Okay, right. Basically, I need to mix together equal parts of green and black. Ooh, gently shake it. Don't really know how. Guess we can just, God, try and get an even amount of black. Now I normally am a bit rough and ready with my paint mixing, my colour mixing, but even for me this is a bit that just looks black to me, but hey ho. Okay, I've been going at this for about half an hour now, so not got very far into it, but already have seen a couple of problems. This, you can see here, the yellow paint is not really covering the ink very well, so I'm going to have to wait for that to dry and go over it again with another coat or two. Also, the dark green that we put in here is not really, actually no, that's just pure black. That's dark green. You can't really tell the difference between the two. See, I could make a dark green with this black and this green that are provided with the kit, but I would need to put a tiny amount of black in with quite a large amount of green, but the instructions say 50-50, so that's what I'm going to go with. And this is why you don't just go, you can't just say a 50-50 mix of 2 colours, because it depends on the pigments you're using. And yes, in this case, a 50-50 mix of both those colours is not, it's just going to end up with black, not dark green. Anyway, leave this with me, guys. I'll come back in a bit with some more progress. Fingers crossed. Okay, there we have it. I have now completed the the painting as best I can, following the instructions. And to be honest, if I was doing this, 20 years ago when I used to do these, I'd be quite pleased with that. I'd probably have spent a bit more time on the finer details, but I was trying to follow it as closely as I could to the exact instructions. But I say that I would have been pleased with it until I looked back on the original picture, the original painting that it's come from, and you can see it looks nothing like it. The colours are all off. There's hardly any detail in it, but still. Right. So now I'm going to do the same one again, but try and make it look as close to this as possible, ignoring the instructions and just doing it how I see fit. I will not be able to get it looking quite as good as that, but I'll see how close I can get it. So here we go. Okay, I think I'm ready to make a start. So I can see straight away that the orange used, the orange of the tiger is obviously has a lot more yellow in than the orange I ended up with following the instructions. So we're going to have to do something quite different. Quite awkward taking the paint out of the pots. I need a little spoon or something to scoop out the paint with. So for now I am still kind of painting by numbers. This is not how I would actually paint if I was just painting this from scratch. I definitely wouldn't be doing it this way. But since we've got the sort of the guide with the numbers here, we might as well use it for what it is good for. But then later on when I start putting on the sort of the more detailed layers, the numbers will just go out the window pretty much. And there we are, one finished painting at last. Took a lot longer than I thought it would, but I think you'll agree. Compared to the first attempt, following the instructions to the letter, it's gone a bit better. And I managed to use the actual the paints and paintbrush that came with the kit the entire time. So, which I am surprised about. This brush is actually quite capable for a cheap little nasty brush. Now, doing this whole process has got me thinking. This system of painting by numbers, it's clearly, well, it's not really supposed to be a way of teaching somebody how to paint, but the difference is clear. The result you get when you just follow a painting by numbers and the result you get when you actually paint it like a painter would. Maybe there's a better way of doing this. The whole painting by numbers thing clearly just doesn't work. It's not a way of teaching somebody how to paint. But maybe there's a way we could take the concept and aim it at people that are actually wanting to learn how to paint. But I've got a couple of ideas bubbling around in my head for that. But for now, that's all I've got time for, so hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to catch the next one. I'll see you next time. Cheerio.